You see us standing out here on a rooftop in a t-shirt. Would you believe, as we're doing this, it's Wednesday, January 11th.
Yeah, in the middle of winter.
It's like that sometimes here in the winter. That's probably a reason that some of y'all are thinking about moving to Memphis to get away from the harsh, cold winters. You want to get somewhere where it's like this, but it's not always like this. And actually, when it is exactly like it is today, it could be a sign that there's something else. We're here on the Moving to Memphis channel, and we're going to talk about the winter here in Memphis. I know it's the reason a lot of y'all from up north, we hear about it all the time. You're tired of dealing with the harsh, cold winters, shoveling snow. When's the last time you shoveled snow, Chris?
Never, I think. Yeah, never.
It pretty much never happens here. Now, can we get some snow here?
We do.
A little bit. We actually had a little bit of snow like right before Christmas here on the ground, which...
Yeah, we had a white Christmas, or a sparsely white Christmas.
I don't know if they, I think it's got to be like 2 inches on the ground to be a white Christmas meteorology.
Okay. We did not have a white Christmas then. Okay.
But we did kind of have one though. Yeah. So that kind of tells you what it is though. We get those little bit, you probably would call it a dusting, you know, you get that, you know. It's usually gone in a day or two, and a lot of times when it's like that, it really doesn't even have a big impact on things going on. But if it does get cold enough where it gets on the road, it can be an issue. So even though you are coming here and you're going to get to enjoy, you know, being out on some days in a t-shirt like this, nice little breeze coming through, there are some other times where there are some things you need to be concerned about. And the first one of those I want to get into is just how unprepared we are when it actually does get bad, you know. So so how does that work? Well, we've got some stuff, but what's
we have a few things like salt trucks, and that's really about it, to be honest, Jared. We don't have much equipment because we just don't get the weather here to justify the expense of it. So usually when we get those dustings or those ice storms that come through, it tends to kind of shut everything down, and everybody kind of stays home and stays in until that passes away. Gives you a good reason to call in to work.
Yeah, and you go to the store, all the bread, the milk.
Yeah,
it's usually gone.
There's a good run on bread and milk every time, for sure.
But you know, you do have that happen. It's just so rare. You know, you'd have that if we spent all the money on equipment that they do in like Chicago or northern cities like that. It's gonna be sitting there for 10 years. It's gonna be too old to use by the time you get to use it again.
We need it. So this past winter storm, that dusting that you're talking about over Christmas, we did have some bitter cold temperatures. The temperatures got down to like 1 degree, and it stayed there overnight, 2 or 3 nights in a row. I had a lot of clients that had busted pipes and issues with freezing hot water. My hot water froze, but I was able to get some heat on it and get it thawed out before it busted the pipe.
Yeah, we did have a few days there where it did get really cold, and that's something too with the pipes and things. You know, we recently had a guy come from far up north, and kind of threw him off that people were talking about, you know, letting your pipes drip, and in that instance it got so cold people were saying, you know, run your heat, open your cabinets inside, and that's just because the way houses are built down here, they're not really insulated for that kind of cold, so those pipes can be exposed to it.
They're not. And a lot of them are on conventional foundations, so we've got that empty space beneath it. So they're very well known to have busted pipes and things like that. So it's really important for those people to do the faucet drips. But a lot of our homes are on a concrete slab, and it's not as important as in those homes. Yeah,
not quite. And we do on the newer ones. You have the new piping that will expand a little bit with that. You know, if you're in the older homes with like copper pipes and things, you really got to be careful and watch that. But it's just something to be aware of, something to be prepared for when you're down here during winter in Memphis. And the other thing, this is the big one that I think people maybe don't realize, is when you get these days where it's warm like today, that's usually going to be followed up with some storms that come through.
Yeah, that's usually a sign of something to come, and it tends to warm up just a little bit, rain really hard on us, and then drop below freezing after that front has moved through. So we kind of miss that opportunity for the snow when the precipitation does come.
Yeah, so you'll see like today, I mean, or after today, we'll probably get some storms, some lightning, some thunder. Sometimes that can be a little bit more severe, you know, maybe even like some hail in there. Usually not as bad as maybe what you might see later in the spring, like tornado threats or anything like that.
No, we don't really have the tornado threats, but we do have that cold rain. It's just like it's a cold rain, and it kind of hangs around during December and January.
Yeah, so what do you think? Is that a winter that you can deal with? Is that better than what you're dealing with right now? Let us know in the comments if you're ready for winter like this here in Memphis. And of course, if you're watching this and you're that person who is, you know, wanting to know more about Memphis because you're thinking about moving here, make sure you get down there, hit that subscribe button, and click the bell. And of course, if you really are seriously thinking about moving here, do that. Take it a step further.
Yeah, give us a call, guys. Call or text me at the number below. Let's start that process of moving you right here to Memphis, Tennessee.
That's right, y'all. If you want to know more about the rest of the year, the weather in Memphis, we did another video about that. I'll pop that up here for you right here in the middle. Check that one out. We'll see you there.